Hello, Alex Sosoyev here, and in this video presented to you by clickandblog.com, we will talk about the WordPress SEO. And SEO stands for the search engine optimization for those of you who are new to the whole scene. And the goal behind this video is to discuss some of the very basics every blog, in my personal opinion and based on my experience, simply must have in order to perform well within the search engines. So today we're going to discuss some search engine optimization basics for your WordPress blog. And by basics I mean absolute must-have necessity for your blog in order to optimize it properly and score well within the search engines. And first we're going to talk about WordPress core configuration. Second, we're going to discuss some of the absolutely basic plugins every blog should have, in my opinion, that will optimize additional options and additional settings within your blog to make it even more search engine friendly. And last but not least, we're going to talk about the theme that is designed to perform well within the search engines. And based on my experience, there is about 99% of the themes in existence, including some of the premium themes, that are not actually designed to rank well within the search engines. So without delay, let's begin with our presentation. What you see on your screen is a WordPress blog installed and fully configured using our custom Click and Blog WordPress installer. And this is the blog we're going to use as an example, and we're going to use to demonstrate the settings I believe you must have configured properly in order for it to score well. So let's talk about first the core settings of the WordPress blog as related to the search engines. First and foremost, if you haven't done it during the install, you want to make sure under privacy that you make sure you check allow search engines to index this site and save changes. Second, perhaps most important part for search engine optimization for your blog is properly configure permalink settings. And what permalink settings are is a simple URL which will be visible to the search engines and is accessible by people as well as the search engines, and it should be done in a way so it will contain your keywords and key phrases in order to score well. And we personally use and recommend to use a custom structure, which is /% category %/ postname %/. Third important part of the core configuration of your WordPress blog is ping notification services, and those could be found under settings writing when you click on it, and right here under under update services you are provided with an option to provide a list of the ping notification services. And what those services are is a simple: every time you publish new content on your blog, a ping will be sent to the sites with notification that the new content is made available, and it will actually make your content score better within the search engines and be indexed better within the search engines. That's probably a more appropriate way to put it. And I know there is a lot of guides and there is a lot of people who provide a huge list for the ping notification services, but lots of times those lists are duplicates, and actually what happens is when they ping one service, and it already includes some of the other services they listed here, so those services will get a double notification of each content posted on your blog, and it can actually lead to the ban of your blog, and as such the chances of your blog being indexed quicker actually greatly reduce. So my personal list is extremely short and includes only 5 different ping notification services, and on Click and Blog under training tutorial, so we provide the full list for those of you who are interested, or if you use our custom blog installer, that list is automatically populated for you. So this is the basics of search engine optimization of your core blog. In the next portion we're going to talk about the plugins you need to install in order to make your blog more visible within the search engines and optimize some additional options. And since we're talking about the update service list, by default what happens is every time you publish a content on your blog, by default WordPress will send a notification to the services you provided in here. But the problem becomes when every time you edit and update your content without republishing it, it will send another new notification, and that can actually be considered as spamming of those notification servers, and once again can lead to a ban of your blog from that specific notification service. So what I recommend is a first and foremost installed plugin called Ultimate Plugin Smart Update Pinger. And if you search to Google, you can find that plugin as easy download. I know there is another plugin that people use. It's a Max Blog Press update notification service or something to that effect. But I've been using this Ultimate Plugin Smart Update Pinger on all my blogs, and I've had a great success. And what happens is it takes over the default function of the WordPress, and it will actually make sure that pinging is done only once to the list of the update list you provided, and once you install it, will automatically populate it. And you can even manually ping the services, and I'll show you what will happen. Once it completes the ping, it will provide you with a ping log, and as you can see here, one of the services is actually reporting that the HTTP status was not well. This could simply happen that their site is down, but if you see this repeatedly, you might want to remove this service from your list to make sure that you don't send notification to the service that doesn't exist. Once you install and configure this plugin, next plugin we're going to talk about is XML sitemap. And this is actually, once again, you can find it within the WordPress.org repository. Simply do the search for the XML sitemap generator, and you should see this plugin. And the default configuration, once you install it, should be good enough. But the one thing you might want to change, depending on how many comments you're getting, is what I like to do is within the sitemap content, I include homepage, posts, and static pages, and exclude everything else. I don't want to have my categories, archives, and everything else to be part of my sitemap, because I don't actually want Google to index those pages, because it can lead to the duplicate content generated on my site, and it can actually decrease the rankings of my blog if I do so. Everything else is you can play around with these modifications, but in my personal experience it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Most importantly here, I like to check is the three settings, and once you completed doing your configuration, you can simply rebuild the sitemap, and the sitemap is generated for you. And since we started talking about the content and proper notification of the search engines, another important plugin I personally believe is one that creates automatically related posts and adds them to your content. So this way it creates internal link structure from relevant pages based on the tag information that you provide. And I personally like to use related posts, or it also abbreviated as a YARP. And once you click on it, you basically provided with several options. You can search once again for the yet another related post plugin. And what I like to do is I like to automatically display related posts within the content. I like to use 5, and same goes for the feeds. But I like to use only 3 posts within the feeds, because people who are reading through the feed readers, they actually have more opportunities to come to the site if you're looking for more additional content. Once these plugins are installed, another extremely important plugin is one that will optimize a lot of settings for your blog and lots of settings for your content. And one I've been using lately on most of the blogs is Yoast WordPress SEO. And once again, you can search within the repository and install this plugin. But here are some of the basic settings I like to personally use. I like to use meta keyword tag. I like to hide SEO box on attachments. Here you are provided with the option to provide your Google Webmaster Tools authentication, your Bing and Alexa verification IDs. This is to add your blog to the Webmaster tools within the Google and Bing. Highly recommended that you do so because it gives you a lot of notifications and it allows you to evaluate performance of your site as seen by those search engines. Now for the titles, there's several different options. I use force rewrite rules, but depending on which theme you're using, it's really optional. But then I like to generate automatic title templates. But when I need to, I can always modify. This tags will be used only if you don't define individual title or meta description or meta keywords within your each individual post and in each individual page. Then it will automatically use whatever you define within the settings. And all of these tags are provided right here below. You can simply use those. And as you can see, it's an extremely simple. For indexation, this is perhaps one of the most important portions of this plugin. As you can see, I checked for indexation rule. I like to exclude, basically do not allow search engine to index very specific portions of my site because it will create duplicate content. And as you can see in first section, I pretty much exclude everything provided. For archive settings, I also disable everything for the archive. If you're submitting your sites to the Yahoo directory or demos directory, you might want to check this couple different settings. In my case, I obviously don't submit the site to those directories, so it's not important to me. And basically what it says is to use the descriptions that search engine will find on your site, not those descriptions found within the directories, because sometimes Google or other search engines might actually override your description provided on the site with the description and the title provided by those directories. Now I also like to clean up the head section, and this is actually the code section invisible to the users, but it is visible to the search engines, and I like to remove all these portions and then simply save the settings. It does provide you with an options to do the XML sitemaps, but I personally like to use a separate plugin for this one. Also permalinks I don't like to touch within this section, but it's entirely up to you. And you have options to provide some breadcrumb settings, but you will have to integrate it within your theme. So once again, this is entirely up to you. So this pretty much completes the overview of the first two portions, core configuration and the basic plugins to be used for the SEO. And just to recoup what we're using, first is a Yoast WordPress SEO plugin. Then let me show you. Another one we're using is a Related Posts plugin, or as it's spelled, YARP. We use XML Sitemap plugin, and we use Ultimate Plugin Smart Update Pinger. So these four plugins I consider to be absolutely essential for every blog in order to optimize some of the internal structure as well as additional functionality provided to your blog in order to rank better within the search engines. In the next portion, we're going to discuss WordPress theme design to perform well within the search engines. And in this case, we're going to be talking about the theme we have installed and provided with Click and Blog Custom Installer, and that is a Prime Press theme, but it has been customized by us for the search engine optimization, as well as we provided some additional functionality within the theme to allow you easily customize it. And let's talk about some of the basics in case if you're choosing different theme, what you should be looking for. And it's extremely important when you're evaluating a theme for purchase or for download and install on your blog. It is extremely important that you take a look at some of the basic functionality of the theme. And first and foremost is you're looking that it has appropriate H1 tag. And in this case, if you take a look at this theme, as you can see right now on the home page, the title of the blog is actually the H1 tag. Now all the posts listed below, if you take a look at those have H2 tag, as seen here. Widgets, in this case it has a H2 tag, but H3, H4 tag is actually preferred, but in this case it doesn't really impact that much, so we continue to use the recent posts. Now another important portion to pay attention to is your links. From the home page, each one blog post should be linked to its internal page or to the single post view. But when you click on it, this link should be disabled. I see a lot of themes that continue to link using the title. When you view the post already, it still continues to link to itself. It's actually not recommended. I recommend that you evaluate, make sure it doesn't have it. Another important thing, once you go onto individual page or post, you want to inspect the element for the title. And this one should be H1 now. And because you already have one H1 here, what you want to make sure that theme is properly optimized, and in this case blog title becomes just a division. It doesn't have any H tags to make sure that you only have one H1 tag on any single page or post. And obviously it's also important that your internal page title, and let me just take a look in here. See, the page title is taken from the title of individual blog post. It doesn't use the blog main name anymore. So you want to make sure that the title of the page is properly picking up the title of individual post or page. You want to make sure that this on individual page, that this title is H1. You want to make sure that you don't have a double H1s. And if you really like the theme, it's okay to use, but I recommend that you try to avoid this, because too many H1 tags, it's a strong tag. It can actually confuse the search engines what your page is all about, what is the primary topic of the conversation within your blog. And also, obviously I don't have any related posts because there is only one single post within this content. But once you scroll down, related posts will be listed in here. So this theme is nice and clean, and it's optimized to perform well within the search engines. But when you're choosing a theme you like for your blog, and you can install any theme of your choosing when you're using a one-click blog installer, to install the blog, we recommend that you actually evaluate the theme of your choice to make sure that it will perform well within the search engines and actually doesn't damage your blog position within the search engine ranks. And if you want to learn more and get your own free blog installer, and it's optimized for security, search engine optimized, social media and functionality enabled, you simply have to visit http:// clickandblog.com. Thank you for watching.